Hello everybody, how's it going? KhasAdun here. A few days ago, I uploaded a video asking you which character you'd like me to do in Fallout 4, either the crazy gun nut chick or Carl. That video got 35 views, 3 likes, and no comments. Nobody said anything about who they'd like to see, leaving it up to me to decide. So what was the point in even asking? Anyway, I've decided for this series to go with Blue Sue is what we're going to call her. I think it's going to be a nice contrast to the Dova Carl series, and she's got a pretty cool backstory. Kind of sad, actually. So, without further ado, here is the backstory for Blue Sue. Born in Montana, Susie Blue was the daughter of Thomas and Matilda Blue, and right off the bat, life wasn't easy for her. You see, her father supported his family through less than noble means, and as a part of a local gang, he and his droogs would travel to different towns and take what they could. But despite being a gangster and a criminal, Thomas loved his daughter very much. For her 9th birthday, he got her a BB gun and began to teach her about guns. And on that day, he would impart some wisdom on her that would never leave her. He said, "Sue, the world's a hard place to live in, and you gotta be willing to fight for your place in it." And although he would teach her this lesson, he made sure to protect her from knowing about his criminal life. Unfortunately, a year later, when Susie was 10, she learned of her father's death. He had been gunned down by the police, and she also had to learn what he was. You see, on this day, she learned that he wasn't the hero that she always thought he was, but in fact, he was the villain. And before too long, her mother found another man and got remarried, and unlike her father, this man had a job, he could bring home money, and he was not in any danger of being shot. The only problem, though, was that this man was an abuser. He would not only abuse Matilda, he would abuse Susie as well. And at first, it wasn't the worst. She was safe around her mother, but there was no telling what he would do when he got home. And for whatever reason, though, it didn't take long for Matilda to also become an abuser towards Susie. So for 3 years, Sue lived in a world of perpetual torment, fear, and neglect. And by the age of 13, as she began to mature, more mature thoughts began to occur, and thoughts of suicide began to creep up in her mind. And she came pretty close too, but she remembered the words of her father, "You gotta be willing to fight for your place in this world." It was at this moment that she realized that her thoughts of suicide were a manifestation of the treatment she'd undergone by her stepfather and her mother, and she knew immediately who she had to fight for her place in this world. So late at night, she snuck into their bedroom, opened the drawer to her stepfather's nightstand, and pulled out his handgun and shot them both right there. She grabbed all the money she could find and ran as far away from that place as she could get. She took a train, she took buses, she traveled across the country, not knowing where she was going or what she was looking for or where she would stop. After a couple of weeks, her travels would come to an end as she was picked up by the police in Boston. When they asked her who her parents was or what her name was or where she lived, she didn't say anything. She would tell them nothing. She would only say, "I just want to go home." But we know she didn't want to return to her home. She never felt like that was home. What she really meant was, she just wants a place to call home. And she didn't dare speak a word of where she'd come from or what she'd done, for fear that she might get the same treatment as her father. Well, the police eventually gave up asking questions and did the only thing they could think to do with a girl with no family or home, and they put her into foster care. Luckily, she didn't have to wait long to be adopted, and adopted into a better life. Her parents were great people and took great care of her. She attended school and her life got better. But she had developed a strange obsession with guns. She'd always liked guns because her father taught her about them, but now it seemed like an obsession. And having witnessed the true power of guns for herself, having seen the change that can be brought by a single bullet, now that was real power. and she decided it was a power she wanted with her at all times. Now, naturally, this wasn't a very ladylike interest to hold at the time, and she soon figured out that she'd better keep it a secret and try to do well in school. At the age of 14, she met a boy from her class named Carl, and for some strange reason, for the first second she saw him, she felt like she could trust him, and the two would talk for hours after school about their dreams, aspirations, interests, ended up becoming the best of friends. One day, without even thinking, Susie risked losing her only anchor to a normal life and told Carl about everything that had happened to her up to that point. Luckily, this only had the effect of causing Carl to care about her much more deeply. 5 years later, she would find herself married to Carl, smart move on her part, with a beautiful baby, and every day they would work to make their lives better. She still liked to look through the gun section of the catalog though. But little does she know that very soon, everything she'd worked for, the loving husband, the baby, her only taste of a decent life, would go up in smoke. In 200 years, she will emerge from the vault and once again become a traveler. But instead of wandering from town to town where police can pick you up and give you a better life, she would wander across a vast wasteland where an obsession with guns would be considered an admirable quality. And every day, you'd have to fight for your place in this world. Eventually, she would become known throughout the wasteland as Blue Sue.